Good afternoon, friends. Today we are going to deal with making of constitution. In the second, first let's see what are the types of the constitutions. Here, constitution may be classified into two types. First, written and unwritten. Second is rigid and flexible. So, written constitution may be also called as enacted constitution. What is enacted? Means the constitution which has been written by a constituent assembly and enacted on a particular date, which is brought into practice on a particular date, that is called as enacted constitution. So for example, Indian constitution is an enacted constitution, written constitution. USA, the world's first written enacted constitution is USA constitution. Then second type is that is unwritten constitution. Unwritten means which is not written in a clear document, but it is evolved or it is naturally born. And UK, England is the only constitution which is which is not enacted, which is evolved, naturally born. The world's 99% constitutions are enacted, written constitutions. World's only one constitution which is not written, which is evolved, naturally born, or which is based on the customs, traditions and practices of the society, that is England's constitution. Then the second type of the constitution is rigid constitution. Rigid means which cannot be changed easily. It needs a special procedure of amendment or a special procedure of change. Such constitution is called as rigid constitution. American constitution is a rigid constitution. It cannot be changed easily. It needs a special procedure of amendment. Then flexible constitution. Flexible means it is easily amended or it can be easily changed. Any number of times it can be changed. For example, France, Japan, Sri Lanka and many other constitutions are the flexible constitutions which are easily changed. But Indian constitution, what about the Indian constitution? Indian constitution is semi-rigid, semi-flexible. Our part, the main part of the constitution is rigid. It needs a special procedure of amendment, and there are two types of the laws in the constitution. One is called as constitutional law, means the original structure of the constitution is under the constitutional law, which needs a special procedure of amendment. It comes under the rigid part. And the second part is legislative laws or legislative part. That legislative parts needs no special amendment or no special procedure. It can be changed by a simple majority. And in this way, Indian constitution is rigid, semi-flexible. Partly flexible, partly rigid, you can say. That is, next, come to the making of Indian constitution. Yesterday we have seen that the Indian constitution, the making of Indian constitution begins with the establishment of Constituent Assembly in the 1946. In the November 1946, Constituent Assembly was established by Cabinet Mission Plan. After the Cripps Mission, Cabinet Mission was appointed and Cabinet Mission appointed Constituent Assembly. This Constituent Assembly was a partly elected and partly nominated body. There were 389 members who were elected and appointed. Out of 389, 296 members were elected from the British India. Out of 296, there are 292 are elected and 4 members who are from the commissioners, chief commissioner states. Yesterday I have told you that there was a division in 3 parts. India was divided in 3 parts. One is British India, second is a princely state, and third is a commissioner states. So out of 296, where the British India, in this British India, 292 are from directly British provinces plus 4 are the from commissioner states. And the remaining 93 members are from the princely states. They are nominated from the princely states. So in this way, 389 members were constituted for the Constituent Assembly for the making of Constitution. But the making of Constitution was not so easy task. So, because there were many problems before the Constituent Assembly, how to make a Constitution, because India, as suddenly after getting the independence, a country of 42 crore people, where there are many problems. The most important problem is illiteracy. Majority of the people are illiterate, uneducated, and in a country like where the mass people are illiterate, uneducated, for such a country, establishing or enacting a constitution is a very tough and difficult job. So the task of Constituent Assembly is very important. For that, the Constituent Assembly appointed 22 subcommittees for making of constitutions. And then other problems, that is, soon after the independence, the most important problem was partition of India. India was partitioned into two parts, that is Pakistan and India. So there was a problem of partition. Refugees, many of the people who were migrated from India to Pakistan, Pakistan to India, and that was a major important problem. And then after, most important problem which was faced by India was integration. Here, as you all know that there were 565 princely states. 565 princely states. After the independence, the Act of Independence of India was passed in 1947, and these states were given independence to join either in India or in Pakistan. So integration of these 565 states was a very difficult job, but it was completed under the leadership of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, who was one among the Iron Man, man of iron will we say, who completed this partition. Some small states voluntarily joined, some were forcibly merged, but 3 states were such states which were not at all ready to join Indian Union. In that, Nawab of Junagadh, here Nawab of Junagadh was not at all ready to join India. He wants to join to Pakistan, but the people were interested in Indian states. So where the plebiscite was taken, public opinion was taken, the Nawab ran away to Pakistan and Junagadh was merged to India. Then problem of Hyderabad, Nizam of Hyderabad, who wanted to establish his independent state. But establishing of independent state was not possible because Hyderabad is situated in the mid of India, in the center place of India, and it would be a very difficult for the Indian administration. So by looking towards this problem was solved by the Indian Army, where Indian Army entered into Hyderabad in the year 1948 by in the name of Operation Polo. It was a military operation or it was a police operation, and the Razakar army of Hyderabad was defeated and Hyderabad was merged. But then after, the problem arose in Kashmir. Kashmir was a very sensitive issue, where the 77% people in Kashmir are Muslims, and the king Raja Hari Singh was a Hindu. The king wanted to merge to India, but the people wanted to join to Pakistan. At the same time, there was one more national conference party of Sheikh Abdullah, who wanted to establish his independent status. In between this all, the Pakistan attacked on the Kashmir, and taking this opportunity, the king Hari Singh signed an instrument of accession. The king signed an agreement, that is instrument of accession, and then a standstill agreement. Indian army rushed to Kashmir and Kashmir was merged to India. But for that, there was a provision of Article 370 which was given, a special provision was made for the Kashmir under the Article 370, and Kashmir was given a special status which was removed last year by the present government. So these are some important problems. Then in the process of making of Indian Constitution, as just I have told you, the task of Constituent Assembly for making of Constitution for the independent India, there were 22 committees were appointed by the Constituent Assembly. In that, the 10 committees were working on the procedural issues, administrative procedures, and 12 committees were the substantial committees which were helping to these 10 committees, substantial committees. Where the first committee was a committee on fundamental rights. Here the committee which will work on the fundamental rights, study the fundamental rights of various countries, and they will be included into the constitution. Then the committee on the Supreme Court. Already in the Government of India Act 1935 there was a court established by the government of the British government. So that is as it is copied, but some changes were made. Then the committee, the credential committee, then advisory committee. This is a very important committee which was headed by Dr. B.N. Rao. Dr. B.N. Rao, who was the chief advisor to the Constituent Assembly and Drafting Committee. It was under the B.N. Rao advisory committee. Then the Committee on Rules, Regulations and Procedures. Then the Steering Committee, which will guiding to the all other committees. The Committee on the Union Powers. Which powers will be given to the Union government, which powers will be given to the state government to decide the Union powers. Then Ad hoc Committee. Ad hoc Committee, or that is a committee on establishing national flag. What type of national flag should be there? Tricolor national flag. Already the Congress was using tricolor national flag, but it was a little changed, and the national flag was implemented in the year 1947 August. Next, the most important committee among the all 10 committees is a drafting committee. This drafting committee was under the chairmanship of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, who is the chairman, and apart from that there were all other 7 members: B.L. Mittal, N. Gopalswamy Iyengar, Krishnaswamy Iyer, K.M. Munshi, Sayyid Sadullah, D.P. Ketan. In the year 1948 and 49, soon after the starting of war, it was the short demise of B.L. Mittal and D.P. Ketan. In place of B.L. Mittal, N. Madhurao was appointed, and in place D.P. Ketan was replaced by T.D. Krishnamachari. In this work, the most important work was done by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. This drafting committee worked hard for 2 years, 11 months and 18 days for the drafting of the constitution, and it studied various constitutions of the world. It visited to the almost 60 countries of the world. By visiting the 60 countries, by studying all other constitutions of the world, the most important and most ideal constitution of India was prepared by the Dr. B.R. Ambedkar and his team. So here the first draft of the constitution was prepared and it was published to the public in the month of February 1948. In the month of February 1948, the first draft, rough draft, was published by the Constituent Assembly, and it was put open for the open debates, discussions, recommendations, criticisms, and by taking into all these suggestions, the suggestions were invited, criticisms were invited, or recommendations were invited, and after taking into consideration all the debates throughout India, after 141 days, the second draft, that is almost 8 months, the second draft was published in October 1948. October 1948. This second draft was published, and again the second draft was kept for the open discussion, and after this again the final draft was published on 26th November 1949, and this 26th November 1949 is a very historic day. On this day, the Constituent Assembly submitted its final draft to the Constituent Assembly. Drafting committee submitted the final draft to the Constituent Assembly, and Constituent Assembly brought into practice on 26th January 1950. The day 26th January 1950, which was decided 26th January 1950, the Constitution of India come into existence. The day 26th January was decided for the enacting of the Constitution. It is a very unique and historic day. Why the day 26th January was decided to bring into practice the Indian Constitution? Because on the day 26th January 1930, All India Congress session was held at Lahore, and in this Lahore session, the Indian National Congress has declared complete independence of India. And in the memory of this day, 26th January was selected to implement the Constitution of India. And in this way, the Constitution was implemented after the Constituent Assembly and a drafting committee. Drafting committee worked hard for the 2 years, 11 months, 18 days for the 11 sessions. It is 11 sessions till the last session was held on 24th January 1950. In this last session, 24th January 1950, the national anthem was adopted by the Constituent Assembly, because Constituent Assembly was the most important legislative body. It was given a power of legislative body, because as soon as establishment of Constituent Assembly on 2nd September 1946, 2nd September 1946, an interim government was established. And in this interim government, Jawaharlal Nehru, who was appointed as the Prime Minister of India, and under the leadership of Jawaharlal Nehru, the first interim government started working. That is, a Constituent Assembly itself was given the power of legislative powers or supreme powers of law making. In this way, it has become a Parliament of India, and this Parliament worked almost 11 sessions up to 24th January 1950 was the last session held. And in this last session, it was decided to implement the Constitution, and the next day itself, on 26th January 1950, the Constitution of India was enacted. So in this way, it is a process of making of Constitution of India. The first part of the Constitution is preamble. What is preamble? Preamble is an introductory part of the Constitution, which is drafted by Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. It is based on the objectives of the resolutions. Drafted by Jawaharlal Nehru. The preamble consists the structure of the state, the powers of the government or rights, duties, and many more aspirations of the people are included into the preamble. So the term preamble has been, the concept of preamble has been derived from the UN Charter, and it is one of the unique feature of our Constitution. So this is the process of making of Constitution. So let's stop here. We'll back next tomorrow. Thank you.